Hey everyone, I'm Rafael, and today I'm gonna talk about how to create a simple enemy firing a projectile on the Unreal Engine 4. So you can see here that I'm already in the engine. So I'm gonna just create an empty level. I'm gonna create an empty level, okay. So what you have to do actually is pretty much a cube. So you can start using the default engine, the default project with the default with the starter content. And in case if you're asking how to get that, you can go here and click on Window Content Browser, and you can add new, and then you can add feature or content pack. Then you're gonna be able to see here that you have like the starter content and you add to the project. Although I won't do that because I already have one nice little guy here, one nice mesh. You can see this nice robot. By the way, I didn't make this robot, this mesh, like this model I got from this guy here, VFX. And so let's go. So anyway, what we're going to do, is like just open the content browser, and you can create whatever you want. So let me just create a folder here called video class, and then I'm gonna create a blueprint class. This is gonna be a very basic stuff, okay? I'm not gonna create any kind of artificial intelligence. I'm just creating an actor who spawns and fires, of course, a projectile. So I'm gonna create an actor, and this I can call as BP test. Yes, I know that I'm not really good, naming things, but anyway. So here, what I can do, so we're gonna go to the viewport, and then we can click on add component, and for me I'm gonna add a static mesh because actually this component is not gonna move, this component won't be moving at all. It's gonna be static and just firing the projectile. So I'm gonna click on compile, and here we can see that on our right we can see that we have static mesh to be added. So I'm gonna add the robot, but actually the robot is with another name. Forgot the name now, but anyway. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna add a cube, shape cube. Probably you guys have as well a shape cube. Okay, so on this cube I'm just gonna compile and say one more time. And now guys, you can add an arrow. And why we are adding this arrow, you're gonna see like soon why we are adding this arrow. But you just add, and you can like locate this arrow like facing forward the actor. So it's facing like this, and yes, I moved up a little bit, and I'm gonna move a little bit to forward, to the forward front. So let me see here. Sorry guys for my voice. I don't know why sometimes this happens, but anyway. And here, once you are with the arrow selected, you can see that on the details panel, we have a rendering section that we can just uncheck this hidden in game. Because then, if you see here, so if we drag our actor to the scene, into the scene, so let me just drag, we can see that sorry guys, even when we play, we can see the arrow here, right? Because if it was still hidden, we would not be able to see, of course. And now we are gonna create another actor. So let me just do the same steps. Actor, I'm gonna call this actor as projectile. So this is gonna be the projectile that our actor is gonna be spawning pretty much all the time, or like whatever is the condition, whatever is the condition that you want to set. So I'm gonna do the same steps, but now I'm gonna add, instead of adding a cube, I'm gonna add a sphere. So I'm gonna click on add component and sphere. Make sure that you are adding a sphere, static mesh component and a sphere. Now what I can do as well, I think everything is good for the sphere. I don't want to change its material. This is for another class. And so I'm gonna just add a new component called projectile movement. So this projectile movement basically it has all of the specifies to set our, for example, our speed for the projectile, or if the projectile will be bouncing, or all of these all of these details. Is very nice to take a look and just set as you wish, So I'm just gonna click on compile. Okay, and here on our projectile movement, everything is working, although we still have to set the initial and the max speed. Okay, so what I'm gonna put here, I'm just gonna put as like 1000, so 1000. Okay, and here you can see that we also have like rotation follows velocity and initial velocity in the local space, but I'm not gonna be worried, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. So I'm just gonna click on compile and save, and now I'm just gonna show you something nice actually. So I'm just gonna drag this projectile that we just created in our scene, and I'm gonna click on play, and you see like I didn't do anything. So let me just remove this guy, and the projectile is already working, although like we still have to change its collision, and also the velocity and also the gravity. At least is something that I want to do. I want to change its gravity because I want to like a forward projectile movement, So I'm just gonna set the projectile gravity scale to 0, and we're gonna see what happens. So you see like the projectile now doesn't have any gravity affecting, and like it's just gonna, it's just gonna move like forever. It's very nice. At least this is something that I wanted to, but you can always change as you wish. So what I'm gonna do right now, guys, so now it's the time for me to talk about the arrow, like why we added the arrow. Because if we come here in our BP test, which is the actor that we created, so I'm just gonna remove these guys, and this guy I can keep. So I'm just gonna add, like right click and add what we call as add custom event, and call as fire. So this is like the fire kind of thing, like he's gonna be firing all the time. Compile, and now what I'm gonna do is spawn actor from class. So basically this function is just spawns an actor from a class that you can select here. So which class we want to select. So now it's the time for us to select the projectile class, which is the one that we just created, right? So projectile, you can see that it's already here, the actor. And now he's asking us, like on this input, when we are spawning the actor, So I'm just gonna connect and plug this custom event in our projectile actor input, sorry. And the spawn transform is when the arrow comes in, So I'm gonna drag the arrow into here, and we're gonna get its its world transform. Oops, sorry, spelling. So get world transform. So basically the function gets the world transform of the target, which is the arrow, and here we can connect in the spawn transform. So basically our actor, our projectile in this case, is gonna be spawned based on the transform of this actor here, of this little guy, which is our arrow. So basically we are like, now we are supposed to see, although, let me just remove this guy, although we are not gonna able to see right now. Why is that? Because we haven't set when, you know, this is just a custom event. Like, now we have to decide when we are, you know, like calling this custom event. So I'm gonna create another function which is called, probably you know this function, guys, it's called add timer, no, sorry, timer by function, set timer by function name. So set timer by function name. And why by function name? Because we have to set a name. So the name has to be exactly the name that we created for the custom event here. So that's why it's called like that. So like fire, you don't want to misspell here, you know, you don't want to have any kind of, you know, spelling mistakes. So be careful. And I'm gonna connect here on our event begin play. So I'm gonna connect, and now here you can see on this function that we have some things, for example the time and also the looping. So the looping is gonna be like, you know, it's gonna be looping all the time if I check this box, and the time is when the loop is gonna happen. So it's gonna happen like 1 to 1 second, or in 5 seconds, you know, in 5 to 5 seconds, or 0 seconds, you know. So I'm just gonna put as 1 second, no, actually as 3 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna compile that and save. Let me just recheck and see if everything's okay. I think everything's okay, so I'm gonna play, and you can see now that is gonna be spawning the projectile every 3 seconds, you know. So basically that's it for today. Although, guys, I still want to show you one more thing that is important. Personally, I believe it is important for your game. So because we are spawning like projectiles, and we are spawning a mesh, you know, 3D model with its own texture, we want to be very careful how we do that, because like we are spawning, and if we see here, so I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna click on play. So if you see here, so look on my cursor of the mouse, and you see here in actors it's counting. So it's counting up like 22, 23, 24, and it's gonna be spawning the actors all the time. So in order for us to have a better control of that, what I can do, you know, is just kill this guy. So I'm gonna set a live, so set live spawn time for the actor. Then we can control like the live spawn of the actor, and we can destroy, and it help us pretty much, like does a lot of help in what we call as memory of the game. So every game has its own memory, and we are not overloading, you know, the memory of the game. So this is something that personally I recommend you to do. So I set as 5 seconds, you know. So in 5 seconds the actor is gonna die. He's not gonna die, it's just gonna be destroyed. So play. So you can see now like it's gonna be spawning, yes, but it's gonna die after a moment. So you see it has destroyed, yeah, it was destroyed, like it was destroyed out of nowhere. I know we could set this condition, like we could set a condition for like when it's gonna die, you know, if it's gonna hit something else or whatever, but because it's just a simple projectile, what I like to do is like just set a live spawn. So you see it even has collision. I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, it has collision. It's funny. And we can change all of these guys like in the editor. So yeah, guys, I think that's it for today, and I hope you enjoy my first lesson in English, and take care, and bye for now.